Hey, it's Kristen from iowagirleats.com, and we're making my pan-roasted steak with caramelized onions and goat cheese. It is so delicious. So first we have to start with our caramelized onions. So I have 2 large sweet onions that I'm just gonna cut the top and bottom off of, and then I'll slice them in half. Peel away the outside layer and slice them into thin slices. Now the caramelized onions will take about 30 to 40 minutes, but you can save some time by making these a day or 2 ahead of time. They refrigerate really well. I'm gonna add the onions to a large skillet with just about a tablespoon or so of extra virgin olive oil. And normally caramelized onions are cooked over really low heat for a really long time, but we're going for a mix between seared onions and caramelized onions, so keep the heat on medium the whole time you're cooking. And you don't have to babysit the onions, just come back every now and again to give them a stir. Our onions have been cooking for about 35-40 minutes, and they are nice and soft and sticky and sweet. If you have never tried caramelized onions, you will love it in this dish. So I'm just gonna scoop these into a bowl. I'm gonna set the caramelized onions aside, then turn the heat up to high and trim our steaks. I have 2 10 to 12 ounce strip steaks here. You could use ribeye if you like, but I do really like strip steaks. So I'm just gonna trim the edges just a bit to cut off any extra fatty pieces. All right, those actually look great. So I'm gonna season them heavily with salt and pepper. 10 to 12 ounces of steak is a lot of steak, so be generous with your salt and pepper. So our skillet is hot, it's smoking, which means it's ready. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter and let those melt. The butter's gonna give the bottom of the steak a beautiful crust, and we're gonna use it at the end to pour over the steak as a nice, easy sauce. It is so good. So now the butter is melted and nice and hot, so I'm gonna add the steaks seasoned side down and let them sear for 2 minutes. And once they're in the pan, I'm gonna season the other side. It's been 2 minutes, so I'm gonna flip the steak. Oh yeah. There's a nice golden crust. And now I'm gonna take the entire pan and put it into a 400-degree oven for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how well done you like your steak. Okay, our steaks look incredible. I'm just gonna transfer them to a cutting board and let them rest for about 5 minutes before slicing into them. Now, if we cut into them too soon, all the juices will run out, so they need to rest. Our steaks are rested but still warm, so it's time to cut in. I'm gonna use a sharp knife to cut the steak against the grain into nice thin slices. This looks perfect. I am going to transfer my slices over to a plate with a nice side salad. Oh, it looks so good and it smells even better. And then I'm gonna top with our caramelized onions, and the sweet onions with the salty steak is so, so good. And then we'll add goat cheese. Now, goat cheese is really creamy and tangy, and the contrast of textures and flavors in this dish is so delicious. The final piece might be my favorite. It is the butter. We're gonna drizzle this right on top, and it really just sets this dish over the edge. However you make this for date night or entertaining, I know you will love it. Head on over to iowagirleats.com for the full recipe.